Today we're going to talk on the complexities around the fire in healthcare hospital environment. Uh, we all know that these environments are very complex because of the patients being there, the kind of critical infrastructure and equipment which is part of it, and thereafter the emergency evacuation at times is challenging in healthcare especially. In the past, there have been a lot of accidents which could have been averted uh, if they were controlled and addressed in time with the right mitigation strategies. Unfortunately, we've learned in the past that in case these incidents, if they're not handled properly, can lead to major disasters. Today, we have a panel which comprises a lot of experienced professionals who have done immense amount of work in developing strategies of how to uh, mitigate and work around the responses. So I would like to invite Mr. Menon, who's going to lead the session as the moderator. Mr. Menon is a seasoned professional. Uh, he served as the Director of Fire and Emergency Service in Goa. He's led and implemented a lot of key initiatives to enhance fire safety protocols and disaster preparedness across the region. With a deep response of fire strategies and risk management, Mr. Menon has been instrumental in shaping fire safety policies in public and private sector. He brings valuable insights into the complexity of fire safety. I'm sure under his moderation, the panel will surely today conclude with a lot of actionable items that the esteemed audience from here could take on. So I would just invite Mr. Menon to please join me on the stage. Mr. Menon, please. To join Mr. Menon on the stage, I would like to invite Mr. Manu Malhotra. He is the founder, partner, and director of RSMS Architects. Mr. C. Lakshmi Prasad, Director, Fire Services, Telangana. Mr. Vinod Pawar, he is the Associate Vice President, Willow, Mather, and Platt Pumps. I would request Dr. Deepak Ghosh, Deputy Chief Fire Officer, Mumbai Fire Brigade, to join us on the stage, please. I would now invite Mr. Namashiam. He is the District Fire Officer retired from TN Fire Services and currently the President for IFE UK Southern India branch. Sir, over to you, please.
Happy morning, everybody. Are you happy? Did Suresh Menon give you breakfast? Yes or no? Welcome to this Tech VARTA 8. Going to the topic, safety in high-risk environment, strategies for hospitals and lessons learned. We have a doctor here in the audience, and she has specially come for this session. So I welcome both the madams in this, three madams in this audience. Give them a good round of applause, please. So we have a wonderful panelist today, a very eminent panelist. We have three first responders, one architect, and the heart of the fire protection system, the pump man. So, friends, fire protection in hospitals is critically important since it predominantly houses people who are sick, elderly, disabled, and need outside assistance in case of an emergency. Before 1950, no automatic fire systems had been installed in the Indian hospitals, in most of the developing world as well. And then, by and by, safety systems, codes, regulations, which we have been hearing for last 2 days, was introduced. And this evolved to minimize the fire-related accidents from occurring in hospitals and also mitigate them. Despite this, fire incidents have continued to occur frequently in hospitals across India. I'm sure each one of you who has come from various states, one or the other hospital has been involved in fire. For the past, I have sourced some data. For the past 10 years, we have come across at least 90 such cases in different states in India. A very shocking statistics. As late as 3 days back, we had an incident in Una, Himachal Pradesh, where luckily when I sourced this document, it says everybody was safe, the staff, the patients, and there was no loss of life. Thank God. That's wonderful to hear. I guess the first responder must have reached in time, or the hospital people were well trained, so that could be one of the reasons. So, having said that, with much ado, I would just directly go to the session. We have with us Mr. Manu Malhotra, the architect. Mr. Manu, you are an eminent architect and heard a lot about your works, browsed the internet. Manu is there and he has done a lot of good work. So coming to your works, modern hospitals are large buildings having multiple departments, uses, equipments and supporting functions. From fire and life safety point of view, the hospital design is a specialized topic. What in your experience are the main challenges in design of modern hospitals? Can you please share your views on this particular thing?
Thanks, Suresh. I think it's a wonderful topic of discussion today. Ashok, sorry. I'm sorry, I'm always confused between you and Suresh, being the surname being the same. Sorry.
Thank you.
So, Ashok. So it's a very relevant topic. Especially, I would like to focus because I think yesterday we had a great interaction, led by Mr. Deri and Sandeep. So I would not talk about the code and stuff, but what I'm going to talk about is what are the lessons which we have learned while implementing the codes in our projects. So as you rightly said that, in healthcare buildings are very intense buildings, very complex buildings because of compromised patients who are not able to evacuate themselves, or their response time is much slower than the general people. Apart from that, being an architect, I would like to speak about, what are the operational challenges and infection control challenges which lead to a problem of implementing NBC and how to navigate those aspects. So NBC has done a great job in terms of vertical evacuation and horizontal evacuation by actually making compartments. But what happens is that even if we are designing buildings which complies to the code, in case of emergencies, those things don't work, right? Like even if I'm giving a 2.4 meter wide corridor, what I've realized is that if you haven't designed spaces where there is space for storage of equipment, dressing carts, waste bins, because you need to segregate waste at the source in case of hospitals. So what happens is that these things end up being in the corridors. So even if it's a desired width of the corridor is provided, but when it comes to evacuation, they're always choked because there was no space provided for the wheelchairs, stretchers, waste bins, etc. Apart from that, we have also seen that, as I was talking yesterday, that the doors are not available. When you create compartmentation, there are swing doors available, and many times it can be in the opposite direction of the egress, that the doors are opening in the opposite direction of the egress, even if it is a horizontal this thing. And the other things which we have seen is that, the number of beds required for the hospitals, as per WHO, is far lesser in our country. And as a result, what happens is that the vertical expansion is the need of the hour in the urban cities. With we kept capping our limit to 45 meters, the infection control and operational requirements of the hospitals are such that they want to keep the outpatient department where there is the maximum flow of patients, where a typical 300-bed hospital would have 4,000, 5,000 OPD patients coming every day. So they want to keep them at the lower floor, take intensive care and OTs in the middle, and take the IPD floors on the top. Right? That leaves us with the fact that above 30 meters, up to 45 meters, we essentially would like to have IPD beds. But the code is kind of speaks about it, addresses it adequately, but when it comes to implementation, it becomes a problem with the fire officers to navigate that and tell them to, that we will have patients who are not going to be incapacitated. They are patients who are treated at the intensive care level and have been moved to the rooms. And these patients are tomorrow going to either way go to their residences. They might be staying at the 60th floor somewhere. And so it is okay to have IPD beds on that floor. But typically, they expect this whole thing to be reversed, wherein the IPD floors come down and OPDs go up because the people there are expected to be better in their response. But then essentially that also means that I'm taking a whole set of 4,000, 5,000 people on the upper floors and making it a difficult task for them to evacuate. The other thing which we have seen is that because of no matter how much you plan for these things, I have decided that, for all the refuge areas, irrespective of what the code says, on all the intensive care units, floors, and operating room floors, we provide refuge areas which are large enough to, apart from, the horizontal evacuation from compartments, there is adequate water and ventilation requirements provided there so that patients who are more compromised vis-a-vis the other patients who are there in the building can be there, positioned there for some time before they are evacuated. So these are the things which we have seen. Other things are electrical, as somebody was saying yesterday, when you don't find a reason for the fire, blame it to the wire. Actually, in hospitals, that is the case because they are energy guzzlers running 24/7. What eventually happens is that you have 100% UPS power backups, then you are further supporting it by DGs. These are the sources when they are not ventilated well, they end up catching fire. And there should be a serious thought given to those aspects. So we in our projects ensure that the code is not only followed, but is actually implemented. I think Sandeep was bringing in a very interesting discussion yesterday that, the audit should be done. One other thing is that audit should be made compulsory if the NOCs are renewed every 3 years or so. I think there should be a body which is running, yearly audits, third-party audits, to ensure that the way the building is designed, the way it is perceived by the fire officer or the architects or the consultants, it's actually getting used like that. There are a lot of times you design spaces for keeping those bins and alcoves for, carts, etc. But the operational team doesn't know, so they end up still being in the corridor despite the fact that you have provided the spaces. So there needs to be a continuous learning program like, healthcare, you have a lot of CMEs, that is continuous medical education. There should be some sort of a connection between the consultants and the operational team, even as you go along through the life cycle of the project. So these are certain things which I try and do in my projects, remain involved even after the project is into operations. But there is no formal kind of an engagement there, which should be looked at. I don't know how it will be done, but yeah.
So, thank you, Manu, for your insights. I think everybody agrees with him. The code not only to be followed, it should be implemented. So that is the key which architect Manu mentioned. And he also said the stakeholders, dil milna chahiye. Matlab, everybody should be together. I mean, all the stakeholders come on the same table. So thank you, Manu, for your insights. I'll come back to you later. Now, coming to our Mr. Lakshmi Prasad, Additional Director, retired Telangana Fire Service. Lakshmi ji, Telangana was one of the first states to permit hospitals of height of beyond the limit prescribed by NBC Part 4. And the height has gone up to 120 meters. What process did you follow for ensuring the fire and life safety aspects? Any adequately during the design factors? You had Manu as an architect then with you? No. So I think put some light on those for the audience, please.
So good morning to you all, gentlemen. This process of asking for more height for the hospital started in our state when combined Andhra Pradesh was there. In the year 2010-9, some hospital managements represented to government that because of the floor height increasing requirement of 4 to 4.5 meters in hospitals to run various services like oxygen and other things, they asked for more height because it is not feasible to have only 6-7 floors building at a very high cost. So government constituted a committee, high power committee, and gave the responsibility to Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University and some other experts. They hired some international consultants, and there were a lot of deliberations for more than 1.5 years. And they brought out a special government order permitting hospital buildings up to 60 meters. And with so many conditions and safeguards. And after that, 2-3 hospitals were constructed. And again in the year 2023, the state chief minister himself wanted to construct 2 government hospitals with more than, one is about 86 meters height in Warangal and one in Hyderabad at a height of 122 meters. So he insisted that you review that GO and whatever additional things you want to have, you please have it. And we have to construct that hospital at any cost. So the department or anyone, nobody has any choice, because when the chief minister himself wanted to build a government hospital, though we are heart of hearts, we are against all this. But it is, nobody can stop that because state chief is asking for that, the chief minister. So they again we constituted a high power committee with JNTU and all other expert members and brought out special additional provisions for hospital buildings. Now the height permissible is 130, not 120 actually. Because government hospital, they wanted to build 123 meters, so 7 more meters was given as a cushion. But fortunately, that hospital idea is dropped now by the present government. But still the GO remains there, and many additional safeguards have been taken in that, especially like permitting the critical services like ICUs, operation theaters, or where patients are not able to have self-preservation. So these things should be below 54 meters. Above that, only other services or some training rooms or doctors' residences, other things were planned by the government also. So that is one major thing, though because the height seems to be 130 meters, but actual hospital remains only up to 54 meters. That is one safeguard that is taken. And another thing is, as you know, in hospitals, defend in place strategy is most important. It is not possible to vertically evacuate patients during a fire. It is a Herculean task. And some past experience in Delhi and some other places has shown that even in a non-high-rise hospital with 3-4 floors, it is very difficult to evacuate the patients with some life support or who are incapable of self-preservation to lower floors. So here in our GO also, the main emphasis is given on the compartmentation so that the patients can be horizontally shifted from one compartment to other compartment with the help of horizontal exits and all these provisions with minimum 2-hour fire resistant rating, then smoke management, then there were additional provisions given like the fire and life safety design has to be compliant to the GO, which insists compliance of NFPA standards with regard to fire alarm system and monitored sprinkler system as per NFPA and our IS codes, and many smoke management, all other system. This design has to be approved by the NFPA certified consultant before approval by the fire department. And at the time of occupancy also, they have to obtain a certificate stating that all these provisions of the government order have been complied by the hospital management as per the GO.
Thank
And,
you.
yeah, and another thing is fire safety management is also given very important place, because as you know, in hospital, everyone has to be a rescuer, otherwise it is not possible. Here in our country, what we have observed is the doctors and other elite people, they don't want to learn about these things, or they don't want to talk about these things. They don't have time. But in other countries, we have seen in many cases, doctor himself is shifting the patient. But
Yeah.
in our case, they never come for any training, or they don't interact with the fire people because they are so busy in their daily routine. So only nurses or some security guard comes. So,
So, Lakshmi ji,
yeah.
just interrupting. So, yesterday we had the doctor who got the award. You were here. She was one of the awardee for the best superhero here. She's a doctor, and she was in an hospital where she saved lives. So, we also do that. But in the hospital, all the people should be rescuers. So, that's a key point.
Yeah.
So,
And one, two other just points. So, with all these safeguards, the department has given recommendation, the committee, high power committee, JNT, Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University, and some other experts. They have given some amendment to the existing GO, which was given in the year 2011. So, the hospital management was also supposed to pay to the government some 2 crores of rupees for additional equipments for empowering the jurisdictional fire station for any specialized equipment. So as all of you know that with regard to the firefighting strategies, it should be within the building. See, for a building of more than 24 meters, it is difficult to fight the fire from outside. So everything has to be inbuilt and compartmented, fire safe, and vertical and horizontal opening should be protected. All fire safety management should be in place. So all these things we have ensured. And with regard to the experience, so far, fortunately, there were no such fires in high-rise hospital. And our people are trained, and we are planning to send them for some specialized training to other countries also. That is also in the pipeline.
Thank you, Lakshmi.
Thank you.
How many of you in this audience agree with me that pump is the heart of the fire protection system? How many of you agree? All of us. So you are still listening. That's a nice thing. So coming to our Mr. Vinod Pawar, who is the Associate Vice President. Vinodji, you heard Architect Manu, you heard Lakshmi ji. Modern hospitals are, critical occupancies for fire and life safety point of view. And you are our heart. So can you put some light on what aspects of pumps and pump room design are critical for operation and reliability point of view? Can you put some insight on that?
Yeah, good morning, everybody. And pump, there are, as strategy of firefighting, there are 2 strategies. One is the proactive and second is reactive. Of course, we are coming in proactive, and as we have, hearts, the pump is also heart for firefighting extinguisher. So we take care about, ECG graph of our, heart. Now coming to the, design aspect of pumps suitable for the high-rise hospitals going beyond 100 meters. So the first aspect is that head and flow. That is most important aspect where many of the small projects also, because as per NBC, beyond 15-meter commercial and 500-meter square, it is called as a high-rise building. But now we are talking about 100-meter, which is very tricky. So we have to have head and flow calculations properly designed for that particular complete hospital. Second is the type of pumps. When we are saying type of pumps, that means it is definitely either split case pumps, end suction pumps, multi-stage, multi-outlet pumps. Because when staging is done for the pumping of the water for fire, then it has to be taken care either to use multi-stage, multi-outlet or to use a different staging for the pump sets. Then we have to have for the pump room and accessibility to the fire pumps, the location and accessibility has to be good, because everybody has to rush to the pump room to start the pump in case of, fire takes place. In case the automation fails, because nowadays, in modern era, there is automation which is also supporting fire pumps to have quick action. Apart from that, there are aspects like good piping, a strong automation, and overall, a well-designed pumping system along with the automation. And the most important aspect is the maintenance. Because many times to get the NOC, to get the occupation certificates, the contractor, the end users will rush for, taking the NOC. But the AMC is a critical part where we play a vital role. Nowadays, we are doing a lot of retrofits also for the pumping. So from the design aspect to the retrofits and taking the annual maintenance contract, we should take care of our heart so that, all these proactive systems will work when there is a requirement. So that is the thing which I would like to add here.
Thank you, Vinodji. A very good insight on the heart, your heart. So we have with us, how many of you know Dr. Ghosh, Deepak Ghosh? He is the Iron Man of fire service. How many of you know that? Iron Man doesn't mean that he is made of steel, okay? So he is one of the best fit guy of the fire services across the country. And he did the Ironman triathlon in 2019 in China. And the list is, unending. But the fittest guy we have ever seen in the fire services, after me, huh? Yes. जो भी है Iron Man ही तो है. So coming to Dr. Deepak Ghosh, a fantastic personality, a good firefighter too. Deepak, Mumbai Fire Brigade is regarded as one of the most efficient fire services in the country. How many of you don't agree? How many of you don't agree with that? So that means again you are in sync with me. What has been the Mumbai Fire Brigade experience related to tackling hospital fires in the past? Can you put some insight on that? And is there any SOPs developed by you for such incidents, and any guidelines for the August gathering? Please put some insight.
Thank you, Manan sir. Hope I am audible. Yes, good morning, one and all. First of all, thank you very much for keeping faith on us, Mumbai Fire Brigade especially. Thank you. And hospital fire we are talking, in general we are calling it as a hospital, but most of the problems are there in the nursing homes. There are three things which are important. One is the design part, another is the maintenance part, and third is the using part, end users. So design part, most of the places in the hospitals, those are developed especially as a hospital, is a very good design. Architects, all MEPs, all consultants, they come together, they give a good design, and accordingly the building takes its shape. But the problem is the nursing homes, which are the makeshift nursing homes, those who are sometimes they are already existing, sometimes they are makeshift. I will like to quote an example. There are so many fire incidents you must have heard. Most major of it is there is the AMRI hospital in Kolkata, where we lost more than 90 people. And then Jhansi fire, 11 neonatal kids, they died. Then Delhi, then Mumbai. Mumbai fire in 2021 March, it was a COVID time, and there was a fire in the Dreams Mall. So there was a makeshift hospital. It was not a designed, it was a mall, not designed to accommodate any hospital. But some of the shops, they were brought together, addition alterations were done, And the commissioner has given order to set an hospital, COVID hospital, because it was a need of that time. And accordingly, the hospital came into existence and there were COVID patients, and suddenly it caught fire on the ground floor. Because it was small, open staircases were there. The upstairs there was a dome with the atrium connected to the atrium, which was closed. So there was poor ventilation system. So that caused to the accumulation of the heat and smoke, and the heat and smoke and the fire traveled from the open staircase and all the atrium to all the floors, and especially to the third floor where it was occupied as a hospitals. So when we reached, we rescued more than 80 persons from there safely. But the challenge was that time it was a social stigma also, and very much fear in our mind that due to the COVID patients, we may also get infected. Still, we managed to save those people from there. And afterwards, because people said that some of the patients are missing, so we again did the search rescue operation, and we found 11 persons died over there. So that was the major casualty in the Mumbai Fire Brigade Hospital fire history. So I was telling that the three things are important. Design part is done, but the maintenance part, most of the hospitals, government hospitals and other poor hospitals, they are not maintaining the system. Some big hospitals like now, five-star hospitals are coming up. They can maintain it, they maintain it properly because they put some maintenance AMC, they give the proper AMC and all these things. But other hospitals, they don't give proper AMC. They try to maintain it by themselves. We have got the mechanical engineer, we have got the electrical engineer. So let them maintain the system. Why to invest money in the maintenance? So that is the motto, mostly government hospitals. So what we are seeing, the pumps are not working. The system is corroded. Some of the equipments are missing. So then it is very difficult to fight the fire at the initial stage. And one of the most important thing is the end user. Like doctors, they can treat the patient when the patient comes to them or to the hospital. Before that, the first aider is the very important part. Because we are the first aider. If we don't know the first aiding, then somebody gets a heart attack. It is very difficult to give the resuscitation. Likewise, sir, as you said that there are first responders, I am differing. We are not the first responders. First responders are they all. All the people who are staying over there, who are occupying, they must be the first responders, sir. If they are the first responder, then the fire won't be able to grow so much. It can be extinguished or can be brought under control by you people only, if you are properly educated. Like we suppose we get trained in the first aid. Likewise, first aid training in the firefighting is very important. Because all the doctors, nurses, they don't know how to operate the fire extinguisher. How to evacuate yourself. These things are very important primary things that has to be given training to them.
Yeah, Dr. Ghosh, you said that they are the first responders. So do you have any training modules in Mumbai that you can, across Mumbai you have trained so many people in various hospitals. And do you have an SOP in place for the general public? Do you have something in that?
Yes, sir. For training the people, we have started a good motto that we are giving training in our 3 centers. And whoever is registering there, online registration is there. So we call them, we give them 1 day session, complete session. We give them the certificates, we give them the badges also as a first responder, first firefighting
Our
responder.
FSI members are trained?
Yes, they are always supporting and they are always doing a good thing. And I have also done so many trainings in the schools and various places with the FSI also. So that is very nice. And the main challenge in the Mumbai Fire Brigade is that the high-rise building definition differs from the NBC to the extent that 32 meter is the high-rise building, above 32 meters. And up to 32 meters, as you said, that everywhere the refuge area is given. No, up to 32 meters there is no refuge area. So horizontal exit is the main thing that should be taken into consideration. Otherwise, it is very difficult to rescue the people in case of emergency, considering their incapacity, incapacitated persons.
Thank you, Dr. Ghosh. Now next is again a firefighter. He's a firefighter from south, he's from west, and you have Lakshmi ji also. And Namusham was the district, he retired as a district fire officer of the Tamil Nadu Fire and Emergency Services. Presently, he is the president of IFE UK, Institution of Fire Engineers UK, Southwest India branch in Chennai. So, Namusham ji, you had an illustrious career during your time. During your service, an experience as a consultant now, what has been your experience with respect to hospital fires and audits and inspections carried out? The second question is, what are the main problem areas and what improvements are needed in this? Can you put your insight on that?
Thank you, Menon. Good morning to all of you. Okay, thank you for your response.
Good morning. He wanted
Okay.
good morning.
Good morning. Okay.
Good morning. You tell in Tamil.
Vanakkam. Thank you. So, it is a happy occasion to be all here. It's a wonderful audience are there here. And that's my pleasure to interact with you. And we got freedom in 1947. Okay. And we have, India has developed in many aspects, many improvements in other various aspects. But do we have freedom from fire deaths so far? So that is the problem that still exists even after more than 75 years. So that's the thing that is go on continuing. See, lot of awareness program is arranged, being conducted as they already told. And a knowledge sharing platform like this is going on forever, many places. But in spite of this knowledge sharing process and awareness building up programs, the fire incidents also increasing equally or more. So like that, there are a lot of fire deaths. 25,000 of people died every year and at least 4 persons dying every day. So yesterday that was flashed. So what is the reason that we want to understand? I have conducted many audits and many fire safety inspections in many places, including so many hospitals. I don't say all the hospitals are worst. There are some good hospitals are there. They have a care and concern for fire safety and life safety. But general in most of the aspects, that just I am saying, whatever that I am going to tell, it's covered within a general, normal, usual manner. So it's not particularly anything. Okay. And see, today's scenario, we have a bypass roads in order to avoid a traffic. And many of, in our modern lifestyle, many are going for bypass surgery to extend their life. Okay. Manan, if you are not well, don't go to any hospital. If you are not well, don't go to any hospital. I mean unsafe hospital. Okay, you can go to safe hospital.
Yesterday I did take one of our guests here to the hospital for 3 stitches, just next door. And it was one of the best hospitals which I have seen in Tamil Nadu. Please carry on.
In most of the hospitals, I see that Lord Ganesha or Lord Muruga or some other Yesu or Allah will be placed in the hospital, the front side. And in some places, I see that Lord Ganesha or any god will be placed on the part of the fire resistance wall because to save places. Okay. So, what it means, when the doctor enters into the hospital, he prays God, today I will do something good and I will return back safely to home. Okay. And the patients also praying the God, let me go safely back to home.
Exactly.
Yes. But the thing is that
He's putting some spice in his talk. So.
The God is not placed inside the hospital because that occupies some space and 2 beds or 3 beds can be added into that. So they place the God outside. The benefit the God is, in case of any emergency, he will go first out. He will do the first evacuation. Okay. So, it's a thing.
So,
And the thing that I noticed, that's my input, my experience that I want to convey. So, there are 2 or 3 messages that I want to pass on this audience, August audience. First thing, courts are updated periodically. Standards are there. So many standards are coming up. In spite of all these improvements, and there are fire incidents are happening. And the technological advancement is one side. Technological application of a building construction or modern medical treatments, equipments, everything is there. And apart from that, regulatory system like these fire services departments are there. Okay. And research and scientific developments, they create more gadgets and more equipments related to firefighting, fire safety and fire protection equipments. And more hospitals are coming up because more diseases are also coming up. Okay. So now my question is, when we have all these verticals of technological advancement, scientific research and applications, and the regulatory systems are there, and more hospitals are there, more buildings are coming up. Now they have increased the height up to 120 meters. But okay, so in spite of all these developments, why fire safety fails? Why fire kills people? Why not people kills the fire?
It's a good one.
So because what I feel, I'm asking you, I may be right or wrong, that's a different case, but you please think over it. Why the fire safety fails in spite of having all these verticals of advancements? Because what I see is the people connect is missing. All the different verticals are there in isolation, in different manner. But they are connected to the people. See, I am talking over the mic, but I am not talking to the people, concerned people, relevant people at the ground level. Relevant people, responsible people are more important. They should be addressed, they should understand it, they should evaluate all these things, and they should work at the ground level. Where it's not a table talking, it should be at the ground level talking.
Thank you.
So that is missing.
Yeah.
That is the one thing.
Thank you, Namshwam. I get your point, and I wish you had put some. I'll come back to you in the second round. We have 7-8 minutes, so I would request the panelists to, enhance their speed, but with a focus. Architect Manu, to what extent does architecture courses currently address fire and life safety features in building design? That's a question. And what is your advice to the budding and practicing architects to improve their skills and competence for ensuring safe design of hospitals?
So, as architects are generally called, they are jack of all and master of none.
How many architects are here?
So,
How many architects here?
There are not many architects here, so I can take the liberty of saying that they are jack of all and master of none. The point is that, the Council of Architecture and the All India Council of Technical Education, the way they have structured the program at the, undergrad level, the importance, actually, if you really, it's a 5-year course, 2.5 years, just go in, internship and thesis and so on and so forth, 1 year in kind of learning how to draw things, right, and understand what is plan, elevation, section, etc. So you're left with basically about 2.5 years where you could actually, the architect actually tries to understand what he really likes. So there is a lot of thrust which is given to structures, design, aesthetics, so on and so forth. You can pick up subjects as electives, right? And the buzzword like sustainability, landscaping, interiors, and so on, they take away the limelight, and fire and life safety is left behind. So even if you have electives as fire and life safety, you don't get a lot of students who are interested in taking that up as an architect. I am on the board of studies of a few colleges, and even if we invite guest lectures for educating them for fire and life safety, it becomes difficult for the students to understand the importance, and the architect to understand, unless they actually come and hit the ground reality, they design and they understand that no matter what you're designing, if it doesn't go through the regulatory system, that design has no value. So it comes much later in life for an architect to actually understand the importance of fire and life safety. I sincerely urge bodies like FSAIN to kind of collaborate with the AICTE or the colleges to kind of educate the students the importance of FSAI. And for the professionals, I would say that read the code, don't read between the lines, understand the essence of the code, the why that is structured or listed the way it is listed, and try and do above or more than that rather than trying to navigate that situation and getting your plans sanctioned and get them built. That's
Thank you, Architect Manu. Lakshmi ji, you mentioned that not 120 meters, 130 meters. So I was wondering that do you have the capacity building for your firefighters anyway to combat such height of hospital buildings? Any specialized training you have developed for the competency?
As of now, no, because we have written to government for sending for specialized trainings to these people, because the such hospital is also not at...
I think then
yeah.
the Mushayam said, Allah, everybody, we have to pray and go.
No, anyhow, see, whatever may be the height, it is a question of not fighting from outside the building. So you have to provide the fire safety internally to prevent the fires, and also to prevent the extension of the fire, and fire safety management. These are all critical areas. See, firefighter training, of course, I agree that the 100-meter platform is that we are planning to procure in our Telangana state. That is in the process. So that is the highest platform available, 104 meters. But 104-meter platform does not give any special security to the patients for the 130-meter hospital. So everything has to be inside the building, and fire safety management should be in place, and functionality of the systems while designing, and also at the continuously during the life cycle of the building. These are important. Of course, firefighter training is always a continuous thing, and the department is taking care of that.
So I was just wondering whether you did any mock drill in such high-rise hospitals. Did you conduct mock drills?
Yes. We have conducted many mock drills.
No, in this particular hospital?
Yes. 120 meters is not yet built.
Not yet built, okay.
Not yet. It is only planned, but subsequently government change was there. Now the present government is not interested to build that hospital.
Oh, so we are safe.
Yeah, as of now, the highest hospitals are below 60 meters only.
So
no hospital is above 60
you.
meters as of now.
Thank you, Ji. I think, but
Above 60.
so what I understand from Lakshmi Ji is continuous professional development is taken care. Periodical training is being done for the firefighters, also the rescuers, who are the inmates. They are also being trained,
Yes.
I guess.
Yes.
So it's a wonderful thing what you are doing. Thank you, Lakshmi Ji. So coming to our heart. Vinodji, you heard 130 meters are coming. It's a challenge for you. So what are the challenges of pump selection and system design for such super high-rise, we say? Or what do we say? Super high-rise building? Yeah. Please.
Hello. Yeah, it is super high riser. When a building height increases, definitely the head of the building or the head of the pump will increase. And when head of the pump is increasing, then there will be a lot of pressure or a lot of stresses on the pipe which are at the lower level. So that is the first and foremost challenge from designing point of view. Definitely that can be overcome with the help of zoning the pumps by using multi-stage, multi-outlet pumps, or maybe using PRVs at those lines. Coming to again, as Dr. Ghosh said, rightly that maintenance is the most important aspect which we are facing right now. The challenges everywhere we are going. We are also trying to educate, end user especially about the importance of the AMC, which is going to keep the pumps running for the lifetime. And since we have a legacy more than 100 years of manufacturing pumps, and our pumps can definitely last more than 20 years minimum average life, which we predict for this application. So only thing is the maintaining. When it is required, it should run. So that is the only challenge. These are the two challenges which we are facing at this
Thank
moment.
Thank you, Mr. Vinod. Dr. Deepak Ghosh, what are your challenges in terms of hospital fires? I have just 2 minutes for each one of you. So आपको 1 मिनट है, उनको 1 मिनट है, फिर हम लॉक कर देंगे.
तो सिर्फ थैंक यू बोल दूँ?
नहीं, 1 मिनट में 60 seconds है. So just in crisp, can you share your
60 seconds is too much. We complete our drill going up to 3rd floor, running from the pumps. अभी थोड़े दिन में होगा, starting from the fire engine to the drill tower and running up to 3rd floor, bring the casualty down and keeping on the stretcher. I completed it in 43 seconds. So that is sufficient time. Okay, so for you, sir, MSMO pumps, these has got some limitations. So nowadays what we are doing is we are going for the brake pressure tanks. So every 60 to 65 meters, you can put the brake pressure tanks so that due to the gravity, at least some water will be, can be used in case of emergency or any failure of the pumps and all these things. The major problem with the hospital buildings is that it is going vertically up. Earlier it was 30 meters, now NBC says it is 45 meters, and we are giving permission up to 70 meters. But the problem is again coming up. Varik sir was just telling that people have approached above 70 meters they want. So the challenge is going up and up and up. They just think about how to accommodate the people, how big the building should be hospital. I will be the first person to build the hospital and all these things.
So what is your remedies you recommend in few points? Remedies.
वही ऊपर वाले का नाम, जितने ऊपर जाएंगे उतने जल्दी ऊपर जाएंगे, वही रेमेडी बस, और क्या. सर ने जो बताया कि हमारे पास में एरियल लैडर से ये वो तो सब बाहर है. सर हमने डिजाइन किया था, ओपन स्पेस रखा था, ओपन स्पेस में कार पार्किंग हो गई, कॉरिडोर्स दिया था 2.4 मीटर का, उसमें चेयर्स लग गए, सीटिंग अरेंजमेंट हो गई.
अभी आपने बताया कि आप लैडर ड्रिल में जाते हैं, फिर आते हैं दौड़ के, टाइमिंग है. तो मेरा एक रिकमेंडेशन है जो आप बोलना चाहिए था कि जो फायर फाइटर्स है ऐसे हाई राइज बिल्डिंग करता है ना, तो उनको उधर भगाना है और कितना जल्दी नीचे आता है, कितना जल्दी ऊपर जाता है. आई थिंक दैट शुड बी द ड्रिल.
सर इट इज देयर सर, वी डू इट सर, एंड
वी डू दैट ड्रिल.
यस,
for your everything. If you design properly, we will do that.
But there is a limitation, ma'am. There is a time running up there. Patients are waiting. You can't wait for the firefighters to come up through the staircase. It will take a lot of time. तब तक कि हमें भीष्म पितामह बन के बैठा रहना पड़ेगा.
So the thing is, the remedy is that we should have fit firefighters. We should have the smoke management systems, all the active and passive fire protection in place, and that would give us, we need not look at God above. So we are actually firefighters we are here to save. We serve to save. That's our motto. So lastly, Namsham ji, you are the president of IFE UK in Chennai, Southwest branch. So do you have some short-term courses for fire officers? Designed by NFSC. Can you do some design for NFSC so that you have this training program for, fire officers?
So, see, IFE UK has a different level of conducting examinations in each year. Level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, like that. There are different levels of exams are there. It's globally recognized. And even the fire officers and the public, anyone can attend that exam. This is once conducted in each year. And one more thing that I want to share with this August audience is training to the firefighters, training to the other people, that is a different case. But when the building become 120 meters height, other things, the tallness is a problem, not the height of the building, it's the tallness that is a specific characteristics of fire and life safety problem. And so that building should be self-consistent, self-dependent. The building should have all passive and active fire safety systems should be there, so that in case of fire prevention is more important. We should shift the importance from fire protection to fire prevention. And see, we are talking more on the protection management. Now there are real-time sensors coming up. We have to go for the predictive prevention management. So that should be there. So such a way we have to improve our learning and our application strategy, everything, so that we can be safe.
Thank you, Namsham ji. A clap to the wonderful audience who are here and listening to our eminent panel. Oh God, what is that? Did you do something, Saxena ji? Bomb मत डालो, हम तो भी जा रहे हैं. So ऐसा है, so I'll have one question from the audience. One, I think doctor, you can. Can you give the mic?
Good morning. I'm Dr. Shabnam. I'm lab director at Sakra World Hospital, Bangalore. A very wonderful session and very interesting, and most of the things which you were telling, I could really connect. Oh yeah, this is happening in my hospital. Like Dr. Architect Manu Malhotra, he said that there is a planning but that implementation of the planning is what fails. There are, in my hospital, for example, we have 6 fire exits on each floor. But many times what we see, there is a crash cart in front of the fire exit or there is some other thing which is blocking the exit. So what I would like to ask is, how often do you do this audit needs to be done, and who does the audit? Is there some agencies who do these audits and see whether whatever is the plan, it is being implemented and followed?
Thank you. Very good question. I think they have switched off all our mics. My mic is working.
With regard to the third-party audit, you can, as per the requirement of National Building Code, once in 2 years, it has to be done. And there are reputed agencies and institutions, like Institution of Fire Engineers, they can do the third-party audit. And also there are some certified chartered fire engineers. They can also do the third-party audit. As of now, the qualification is not prescribed in the National Building Code, but there are institutions available as such. If you, for hospital, I recommend that some reputed third-party institution, organization can be assigned. Like UL will do that, Underwriter Laboratories. Then Institution of Fire Engineers can do that. And other certified fire engineers, qualified.
Even FSAI AP accredited APs are there. FSAI, Suraksha.
Yeah,
Suraksha-
but of course,
Suraksha
FSI has done, but for that, there is no any backup from the authorities.
Thank you.
That-
Thank you,
that-
Lakshmi ji.
yeah.
Over to Saxena ji. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Menon, and all the panelists for such a wonderful session. A huge round of applause for all of them, please. Thank you so much.